Welcome to the Her Story Circle podcast, the podcast that brings you the extraordinary tales of everyday women who are changing the world. I'm your host, Marchant, and I'd like to acknowledge traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today. I also like to pay my respects to elders, past, present, and emerging. Every week, we dive into the lives, challenges, and triumphs of women from all four corners of the globe. We're here to inspire, enlighten, and connect, sharing stories that uplift and empower. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and join us as we explore the incredible journeys of women shaping our future. This is Her Story, where every woman's voice matters. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Her Story Circle. This is Gertrude Mache here in beautiful Melbourne, Australia. And today I am graced with the presence of yet another fascinating young woman. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our tribe. Please tell everybody your full name, where you're based, and share your story with us today.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me on the Her Story podcast. So I'm Charlie. I'm CEO at Exposure Ninja Search Marketing Agency. I'm based in Brighton in the UK, though I was originally born in Watford, later met my life partner and moved to be beside the sea with him. So my story is a strange one, I guess. I started off in teaching. I was teaching English abroad in Taiwan and decided to have a career change at that point. That career change led me to some very early jobs on minimum wage, very basic starter jobs that then led me into a C-suite role in marketing. So I always knew that I wanted to work in marketing, and after a year teaching, I decided to end my contract. I loved it, but I just knew it wasn't the right career path for me. To break into marketing, I decided I had to take any kind of writing jobs that I could get. So I took quite a few different freelance writing jobs at the time, short projects, blog posts, articles, guest posting, ghost writing, that kind of thing. And I finally landed a really good project with a company called Exposure Ninja, which is the agency that I work for now. So I started there. After 3 months as a freelance writer, my amazing boss, Tim, asked me if I'd be interested in setting up and running our team of content writers. It was a growing part of the agency, and I was the first writer in the team. So I hired our first person, and then I was offered a contract to become an employee, finally, after about 18 months of freelancing. And then I took on a management role. I built that department to a team of 20 incredible content writers, editors, and digital PR specialists. And when I'd first started in the industry, I had no idea what SEO was. I just knew that I loved writing. And from there, I was pretty confident that I could learn whatever I needed to learn. And that kind of mindset has really shown me through the whole of my career. Just being confident that whatever it is that I don't know, I'm going to figure it out as I go. So I grew that department to be the most profitable within the agency, our content marketing team. That content marketing team is still a fantastic team now, still a team of absolutely incredible, talented writers, even more talented at writing than I am. And I'm so proud to still be in a company with such an amazing team within it as well. So from there, after growing that department, showing that I could make something profitable for the agency, my amazing boss asked me, hey, would you like to take on a COO role? Would you like to move into operations? And at that time, I thought, oh my goodness, I have absolutely no idea how to run operations. I've never been in a C-suite role before. I've never run operations beyond this team that I've just grown. And he said, I just want you to do what you did for this team, for all of the other teams within our agency. So that was our website development team, SEO, email marketing, and PPC teams. So I took on the role and I had a fantastic time. I was in the COO role for 6 years. So it's been the mainstay of my career. And through that, discovered that I'm very operationally minded, very good at processes, logic, people management, and all of the stuff that actually goes with making things run efficiently. So after then some really profitable years for the agency, my boss reached the stage where he had decided actually he wanted to explore other things. He's still very involved in Exposure Ninja, but decided that he wanted to move into renewables and green energy companies and make a few mergers and acquisitions and explore just all of that entrepreneurial stuff that he absolutely loves. And then, as the second person in the company, he asked if I would be willing to step into the CEO role. I had never imagined becoming a CEO. I was 33, 32 when I was asked to become CEO and take over the running of the company. And it felt like a huge responsibility, even though I'd been in that COO role for 6 years before that. For me, it was a massive, massive transition in going from back end operational work to becoming the visionary, strategic, front end person on the business. So I had to learn so many more skills, not only visionary speaking for our internal team, but I've also become an international speaker talking about SEO and AI search around the world. Just this year, I've had the pleasure of speaking at MozCon in London, at the Axel Springer and Bowen Craggs event in Berlin earlier this year, and I've got quite a few more events coming up, including Brighton SEO right here in Brighton, where I'm currently living. And it's been an amazing time. When I took that CEO role, I had loads of people say to me, "Whoa, Charlie, this is such a crazy time to take on a CEO role of a digital marketing agency, given how much is going on with AI." At the time, and still now, loads of people fear that AI is going to be taking our jobs, that marketing is going to become entirely automated and that there'll be no human element to it. And a lot of people warn me against the idea of taking a CEO role in a climate like that. My reaction to that was there's no more exciting time to be taking on a strategic CEO role and actually leading an agency, especially one who have skills in search. I've been really proud that this year we've had the most award nominations for our work ever, including AI based campaigns. We released pioneering research into SEO and AI search when Google's AI overviews was first SGE. We figured out the ranking factors behind that and got our clients featured in AI overviews. Now, with the advent of ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, and other LLMs, we are specialists at actually getting our clients visible and noticed and mentioned, linked, referenced in AI searches on ChatGPT and other LLMs. So it's been fantastic to actually work in a career at such a pivotal time in marketing, and our team only gets stronger and stronger every year. So that's pretty much my story of the past 10 years in marketing.
Fantastic. Now, what would you say is your formula to life? You've done some incredible things in such a short space of time. If I was to ask you, what are the 3 steps one can take to manifest their dream like you have, what would you say?
I think I would have to say the first one is decide what you want to do, decide what your dream is. I may not have known that I wanted to go into the C suite, but I knew I wanted to be in marketing. I knew I wanted to write. I knew I wanted to be in that world. The second one is to work hard at what you do. I think that makes a massive difference, and you really can't underestimate how important being a hard worker and wanting to do your best work really is. And the third one is to uplift people around you and support them to achieve their own dreams. If they achieve their dreams, you'll find that that comes back to you and they'll support you to achieve yours.
That's beautiful. So, what was the biggest mindset shift that required you to transition from being an expert to an executive?
Oh, this is a great question. And I think for me, it was originally thinking that all I wanted to do was be a writer. And that was my craft, my toil, the thing that I loved. And actually moving into a C-suite role means I lost a lot of the day-to-day writing work that I used to do. And I had to learn a lot of new skills around process development, people management, strategic thinking, all of the side that comes with being in a C-suite executive type of role, and shifting away from realizing that actually I can still do things I love, that I often do writing just in lots of different formats. Sometimes that's internally to colleagues, emails to clients. Sometimes it's writing scripts for videos, being on webinars, planning different things. There's so much of that still comes with me without actually doing day-to-day writing work in the same way. So I think understanding that my dreams and my goals could evolve beyond what I originally thought they were.
That's amazing. So, how did you scale the content team so quickly and effectively?
Honestly, it was just putting out fantastic work. When the business first started, we worked with a lot of smaller businesses. So I mean things like plumbers, electricians, accountants, local dentists, and we were learning how to do SEO and write content really effectively for those businesses. So for my team, that was a lot of training in understanding different specialisms, understanding marketing concepts, really pain points that customers have, customer needs, and how we create content that really resonates with those kinds of customers. And we had a great opportunity to learn when we were working with smaller businesses. We were able
Yeah.
to scale the business over time, and now we work with medium, large, and enterprise brands on very high level types of content work and integrated campaigns. But a lot of that original growth came from producing great work, having great case studies that other clients saw and loved,
Mm,
retaining our clients for a long time because they loved the writing that was being produced for them. They felt like it represented them and their business, and they were really confident in the work that we actually did, and achieving great results. All of our content has always been focused on making sure our clients get a return on their investment, that they're doing well in Google search or whatever their goals are for their marketing, so that actually ultimately they're getting customers through the door.
So, what were some of the key strategies behind tripling revenue and quadrupling profit as a COO?
A lot of it came down to the people in the team, making sure that aces were in their places, that the right people were in the right seats in the company. And that has been one of the biggest learnings of my career, is that you can have incredibly talented people, but if they're in the wrong role, they cannot excel in it. And sometimes it's a really simple shift in a role, and you can see someone go from a very middling performer who doesn't love their work to someone who absolutely excels and becomes a superstar at what they do, just
Yeah.
because a slightly different role, a slightly different skill set is what they have, and it gives them the energy to do their best work. So that. Secondly, putting really clear processes in place. I think there can be a bit of an entrepreneurial mindset that we don't want processes, that processes just create red tape and make a burden to the speed and the agility of the business. But really
Mm,
there's a kind of balance, there's a harmony that you have to have, and that's not having so much red tape that things can't get done, but you need
mm,
enough structure and process that you can produce really high quality work, and it can be done by different people. Clients appreciate that they're going to get a consistent level of quality, and people come in and feel confident they know what they're doing without being told every single tiny minute detail of what they're doing. They
yeah.
have an overall structure that they can work within.
Well,
Yeah.
so, what leadership lessons have you learned through growing within one company?
I've learned so many leadership lessons. One of the biggest pieces of feedback I first had when I became a leader was that I'm not very good at small talk. And that that's still true now. I think that's part of my personality. But some people told me, hey, Charlie, I really appreciate that small talk isn't your forte, but I need that to feel comfortable in my
Yes.
one-to-one conversations with you. So please, could we make sure that we always have 4 or 5 minutes at the start of our conversation where we, talk about the weekend or talk about what holiday we're going on or whatever it is. And
Yes.
that feedback, I'm so glad that I had colleagues who felt they could tell me that, because it's made such a massive difference in how I show up as a leader, and thinking about both being not just the directive business mind, but
Yeah.
also that softer relationship builder, which is something that I've had to learn over the years. It wasn't my natural state. And I also think lessons in understanding that even introverts can come out of their shells when they need to show up and do certain things in their life and in their career. That being an introvert doesn't mean that you are always quiet. Actually, if you're
Mm.
in a role that you love, if you have tasks that you want to do well and you're trying to do your absolute best, you can show extrovert tendencies, even though
It's
really
not
inside you are an introvert.
interesting. So, how do you navigate being a high level executive and a primary breadwinner as well?
Oh, that's a great question.
Mm,
Um, I have been very fortunate to have a life partner who is incredibly supportive of everything that I've wanted to do in my career. And he
mm,
himself has a fantastic career as well. So we're both very privileged to work in the marketing sector and to both hold
mm,
C-suite jobs within it. But I have to say, I think a lot of that comes down to having very supportive friends and a very supportive partner and a very supportive family who encourage me just to absolutely go for it and do my best and turn my hand to challenges that even if I don't think I can achieve, they always tell me that I can.
Oh, I love it. Now, what advice would you give to women who are aspiring to leadership in male dominated fields?
Oh, I would say, firstly, find a company where you feel like you can contribute. Find a team where you feel like you're an important part of it, and that will do a lot of the work for you. If you feel like you're stifled in your current role or your current company, then I would say look broader and find a really supportive environment. If you're already in a role where you have the ability to influence that within a company, then make sure that you do. I'm very proud that the company I work in has 70% women in our leadership team,
Oh,
and
wow.
actually, yeah, more than 50% of the company as a whole is women, which is fantastic in the marketing sector. We see a lot of particularly male-dominated roles within marketing, with the exception of things like PR, which tend to be quite heavily skewed towards women. And so
Yeah.
having women across different roles in the company and showing their capabilities in those roles is incredibly important.
Wow. That's very, very unusual
Yeah.
for any industry. Wow. So, what legacy do you want to leave in the marketing world and beyond?
Oh, what legacy do I want to leave? To be honest, I feel so privileged to be part of the marketing world and the SEO industry just as it is now. And
Mm,
even if I left the sector tomorrow, which I don't plan to do, I would be proud of everything that the team I work with have achieved. For us, I would love for Exposure Ninja to continue to be known as a leader in AI search. And the legacy I'd like to leave, I would love to just have a team who felt like I always supported them to be their very best at whatever it is they wanted to do.
yeah, that's fantastic. Now, how do you stay innovative in such a fast changing digital landscape?
Lots of testing, lots of researching, lots of playing with things and figuring out how they
Mm,
work. And not just me, some of my colleagues as well have to spend time doing that, thinking about what we need to be thinking about. Things like AI
mm,
search we have been at the forefront of because we have a very open-minded team, a very confident team who
yeah.
just thought, right, ChatGPT is here. The next stage is going to be people searching in ChatGPT for our clients' businesses, for us even. And what are we going to do? How do we use our skill sets to make sure that we can support clients as search changes? And that just came with a lot of research, testing, innovation. We worked with a couple of clients who were happy for us to experiment with them and their business because by nature, I think when you work with a marketing agency, we have a lot of CEOs, CMOs, marketing directors who themselves are very innovative, who like to be one step ahead of their competition. And so having that collaborative relationship with our clients has meant that we've been able to test things across different industries and see what works. So I would say actually leading on that, thinking about that. And we're very quick to train internally. As soon as someone finds something out, we set up an internal training. We have the whole team there, and we don't just train the SEOs on doing specific
Mm,
SEO work, for example. We train the whole team, even if they work in finance, HR, the back office, so that
mhm.
everyone understands what our agency does, how we do it, and how we innovate.
Okay. So, what role has mentorship, giving or receiving, played in your career?
Mentorship is what I believe to be the most effective way of supporting our next generation of leaders. I
Mm,
have mentored since the age of 18, since I was in school, and I
wow.
mentor now for the University of Exeter. I've mentored for the Girls Network, who are a fantastic charity supporting women from disadvantaged backgrounds in the UK. So if you have the opportunity to mentor for them, please do. And I also mentor through Exposure Ninja's own digital marketing mentor program, which was set up by myself and my colleague Dale to support disadvantaged people trying to break into the industry or progress in our industry as well. Um, Mentoring has been significant, both in terms of giving
That-
and receiving mentoring. And I think that's
Yes.
because you have the opportunity to build confidence with someone. And sometimes you need someone else to be confident in you for you to
Yeah.
really know what you're capable of doing. Um,
Yeah.
and I've been very fortunate to have a couple of mentors in my time. One is Tim Cameron Kitchen, who is the founder of Exposure Ninja and has believed in me since the very start of my career, which has been
Mhm.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Susan Hallam, who is the founder of Hallam Digital, spent quite a bit of time with me back in 2020, supporting
Okay.
me with ideas for how to grow the agency, and I've really appreciated her time. And just this year, Nikki Gattenby, who is a non-exec working in the marketing sector, was a fantastic support. She gave me a power hour, and it's one of the best hours I've ever spent with anyone.
Wow. That's just incredible. So you've had a lot of support around you.
I've been very privileged to have a lot of supportive people around me, both within the industry, but also within my personal life as well.
Mm. So, what's a failure or a challenge that shaped who you are as a leader today?
Oh, that's a great question. I think a failure or a challenge that shaped who I am. Um, I always remember going into teaching when I did, which was around 12 or 13 years ago now, and
Mhm.
really finding it to be an emotional job. And I have such an admiration for everyone who works in teaching and education. It's such
Right.
a worthy and important career. But you are also managing the emotions of so many young children who look up to you.
Mm.
And when I was in that, I really felt like I did my absolute best every day and I brought 110% as much as I could. But I just knew it wasn't the career for me. And I knew that before I even went into teaching. So
Mm.
I think having that realization that actually you just feel it, you just know if something isn't your calling
Yeah,
and not trying to bury it is really important.
that's so good.
Mm.
Incredible. Now, let's talk a little bit about the elephant in the room, AI and AI technology. So, what are your views on the intersection of AI and content marketing?
So this is a really interesting one for me because there's a lot of fear around AI,
Yeah.
and I generally love AI despite knowing that there are significant risks to our society and our sector based on how AI goes from here and
Mm.
how well our governments will decide to regulate it, how well
Yeah.
we as humans decide to manage AI. For our sector, AI and content, I think that AI is a fantastic tool for content.
Mm.
It can help you structure thoughts. It can help you create outlines, summaries, give you ideas of directions. That's amazing. How amazing is it that now in 2025, we basically have a sidekick to brainstorm with? The
Mm.
risks, I think, of AI and content are businesses, websites who think that they can just put out hundreds, if not thousands, of AI written articles that are
Mhm.
not done with thought, not done in a collaborative way with AI, and hope that they do well. I think that is content spinning has existed since way beyond AI, and that this is just the new version of it. And I would definitely warn anyone who is thinking about doing that or partway through doing that to refocus their energy.
So, how do you balance human creativity with AI efficiency in your team's workflow?
We have both. in our workflow. So we're a service business. It means that we essentially sell our people's time. And so our people and their skills, their abilities, but also the way they communicate is incredibly important. Their
Yeah.
strategic mindsets are so incredibly important to the service that we deliver. If AI can free up some of their boring work, some of the admin stuff, some of the early pieces of things that they have to do, or support them to generate new ideas, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So for our workflows, we have restrictions on the kinds of information that can be put into AI. So our clients' personal data can't be put in, for example, anything identifiable about the business. All of those kinds of safety measures are in place for us. But our team can absolutely use AI to create structures to do manual work much more quickly and free themselves up for actually spending time with our clients, understanding our clients' customers, understanding business needs, and making sure that the work strategically lines up to hit the goals that we're ultimately accountable for.
So, if you could design the perfect AI assistant for your agency, what
Yeah.
task you wanted to handle and what would you never delegate to it?
Oh, I would never delegate client communication is the first thing. I would
Okay.
never delegate any kind of personal communication that needs to go on in the business. So I mean things like KPI meetings, one-on-one meetings, client strategy meetings, and client calls because they are so important to running an effective and happy company is having
Yeah.
happy clients and happy team members. Things I would love to delegate to it, I would absolutely love to delegate pretty much any type of back end admin, things like password management. If there was a way to do that that was less manual
Mhm.
and equally safe, things like leave entitlements and making sure that people always take the leave that they need to take in the year, anything on that side of HR admin, I would love to delegate. But not only because actually it takes a long time and it's very manual, but because I would love there to be an AI assistant who can be that encouraging person that makes sure people take all of their holiday, that take
Yeah.
all of the rest that they need. And if they don't actually know what to do with their holiday, actually helps them decide, hey,
Rest.
yeah, what do you need? Do you need rest? Do you need adventure? What is it? We'll figure
Yeah.
it out.
I love that. That's really cool. Now, how do you intentionally create space for other women to rise within your organization?
How do I create space for other women to rise? Um, there are lots of ways that I do this within my role. The first one is to always reassure them that they can do whatever they put their mind to.
Right.
The second way is to not overcrowd them, to trust them to run with something. If I can give them the goal or the top level of what I want to see, it's up to them to figure out the rest. And
Yeah.
just believing that they can and showing that by not getting in their way is
Yes.
incredibly important to me. And I think just giving them opportunities as often as I see them, opportunities to do things that I think they would be great at, whether that's things like public speaking or joining webinars, joining podcasts, or
Yeah.
whether that's more internal side, perhaps managing their first team member
Yeah.
or putting a client campaign forward for the first award that they will hopefully win in the
I
sector.
love that. That's awesome. My last two questions are a bit of a thought experiment.
Okay.
In the first one, I'm going to take you back to the younger you,
Hmm.
a woman who aspired to an executive role starting from scratch. Just in case there is someone young who's listening to us right now,
Mm.
you could go back and give yourself three nuggets of wisdom based on what life has taught you up until this point.
Hmm.
Those three nuggets of wisdom be?
The first one would be believe that you can do it. Whatever it is that you want to do, you will learn to do it. The second one is do it before you're ready. You're always going to feel like you're not ready for the bigger role, the bigger challenge, the harder things that are about to come. And if you have an opportunity, take it, because if you don't like it, you can always go backwards. You can always decide that you don't want to have such a stressful job, or actually this isn't for you. But if you miss the opportunity, you may never have that opportunity again, and you'll always be wondering whether you should have taken it. And the third one is to not only think about your career, but to think about all of the things that are most important to you in life. And that might be the time you spend with your family and friends and how they feel about their interactions with you. That might be your cultural awareness and how much you get to travel and understand different perspectives that are totally otherworldly from your own, because those are the things that actually shape who you are. And it isn't all about whether we climb the corporate ladder or how much salary we have in the bank at the end of the year. There are so many other things that are important aspects of your life.
Fantastic. Last question is futuristic. I'm going to teleport you into the future, and we are going to go and meet the 90-year-old you.
Okay,
She's
wow.
in a rocking chair, surrounded by her family, her children, her fur babies, whoever's with you at the end.
Mm-hmm.
If you could teleport into the future and have a conversation with this wise woman who has led you up until this point, what will you say to her when you finally meet her?
I think I would say, did you get to do all the things that you dreamed of doing? And if not, what held you back from doing them? I have a lot of things. Firstly, if I get to 90, I'll be super impressed with myself. I would definitely want to know what her secrets are, and whether that was living in a totally different society, whether she ate certain things, whether she did certain amounts of exercise. I think I'd have to ask all of those longevity questions as well. But for me, I'd want to know what other dreams and aspirations she achieved in her life and how she decided to go about those.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, Charlie, thank you so much for coming online and sharing your story with our community today. It's absolutely inspiring and fascinating to see a young woman rise to a position of power and pulling up others along the way. I think it's really important when women reach the stage that you're at to create more seats at the table for others
100%.
to join you. So thank you so much for the interview.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
And thank you to everybody who tuned in. The Her Story Circle is not just a podcast. We're a social impact movement that brings you the stories and voices of people from all over the world. We share our stories to uplift you, to inspire you, to energize you, but most importantly, to help take you from where you are now to where you're trying to go. So today you've heard a story of inspiration, that you can manifest anything you want if you put your mind to it. Have a clear vision of where you want to go. Don't be scared to try those big things that scare you, because everything you want is on the other side of fear. So Charlie, thanks again. I'll be back again tomorrow, everybody, with yet another amazing guest. In the meantime, have a fantastic day, morning, or evening, wherever you are in the world, and bye for now. Thank you for tuning into the Her Story Circle podcast. I hope today's story has inspired you to believe in the power of our stories and the difference you can make in the world when you use your voice. I'm Gertrude Marchant, and it's been an honor to share this space with you, where voices from all walks of life come together to weave a rich tapestry of diverse perspectives. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review our podcast to help us share these stories with more listeners. Follow us on social media by looking for the Her Story Circle podcast for more updates. And join us tomorrow for another episode filled with courage, resilience, and empowerment. Remember, your story matters, and together we're building a stronger, more inclusive world. Until next time, keep making her story.